WRTR Real Talk Radio. Featured guest DJs. Original shows. Music news. The hottest DJs from around the world.
Well, we made it to another week, Miss Lyric.
Yes, indeed.
We back, Blacks, and welcome to a new week here on WRTR Real Talk Radio. Thanks for coming back. How you feeling?
I'm feeling all right, actually.
My name is Marcus Smoot, by the way.
My name is Miss Lyric.
So you said you're feeling okay?
Yes, I'm quite all right, actually.
Mm-hmm. So let's do our norm. What's your mood given this week?
My mood is a little bit all over the place because I have a lot going on. School, of course. First of all, prayers for those affected in Florida. My professors are affected, of course, because you guys know I'm in school and Full Sail University is located in Winter Park, Florida. So some of my professors had to, some of my professors had to evacuate.
I know that's right.
Yeah, so prayers to them. I have like 4 assignments that I have to do this week. Luckily, they pushed that stuff back. And then I also have a show on Saturday. So just trying to get prepared. They've been all right. Everything has been coming together. So far, so good. Can't complain. And you?
I'm confrontational this week.
Oh.
No, because, okay. I don't know. It's... If you haven't noticed, there's kind of like a war right now going on like truth. Mm-hmm. And it's like, everybody's calling it like a civil war, things like that. People want to, or, I guess people are trying to reach for the most tangible thing for them right now. But if you look at it from a broader perspective, everything that's going on with the media, with everything, it's literally a war on information right now. It's a war on truth. Like people, you talked about Florida. Marjorie Taylor Greene dumbass and got on a platform and talked about how the Democrats have control of weather. Of the weather. Bitch, what?
Okay.
Like, what? But what just drives it even further is that you have these maggots that are actually believing this and then telling the rest of us. And when we look at them like they crazy, it's just weird. So for me, I say confrontational because I keep getting tagged in videos. This is the thing. So for me, at my big grown 44-year-old self, shout out to me and my birthday.
Yes.
At my big grown age, I've lost the desire to feel validated by somebody acknowledging them right.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
It's sort of like, I already know. Like when you know something and you know that you're right, you don't have to really go any further. But you also have people that aren't, it's like when they come at you, especially online. A lot of y'all like to go online and talk like you know something. And then when you're corrected by people that actually know something versus just coming back and saying, you know what, that's a different perspective. I didn't think of it like that. Or, didn't know that. Let me look this up. A lot of y'all don't land there. A lot of y'all then walk away from that conversation hearing nothing because it's not what you want to hear. And then you go out and then you want to tag me in comments and little videos here and there with further points about what it is that we argued about yonder. Like, it doesn't make sense. If you were wrong about something, you're still wrong about it. And the thing is, no matter how many people you throw at me saying the same thing, the facts are the facts. And when you know something and you like, people always ask me to chime in on things because I read facts. Mm-hmm. And it's not hard. It's Google. It's right there. The information is right there for you. And the thing is, you don't have, like, when you know something, when you have the facts right in front of you, you don't spend a lot of time going back and forth with people about anything because it's right there. The proof is there.
Right.
So yeah, the Republicans and this whole MAGA and this war on information, they got me feeling a certain type of way.
I mean, I feel you. That just goes to show, like, people on social media really want to make their opinion fact, and that's not the case. Like, stop. And then they want to do the microaggressions and send the videos and do all of this, that, and the third. Like, come on, you don't have to do all that. Like, take the time to just research, and the answer will be right there.
It usually is.
Headed people.
And they got new things now, AI. You can go on Facebook and ask that bitch anything. AI will tell you. Be like, you'd be like, so is this true? And AI will be like, nah, girl, that ain't true. Like, and it will. It'll line it out for you. Anyway, so I think that did we talk about it last week? Oh, yeah, we missed a week. So, yeah, sorry, y'all, but had to celebrate the birth.
Absolutely.
So I think we talked about changing the back to when I grow up, I want to be. Yes. The reason that we did is to kind of kick the show off on a positive note and be like, I want to be like this person when I grow up, yada yada yada. So I'm gonna switch it up a little bit today. I'm gonna tell you when I grow up, I want to be like Erica Alexander, the diva, Maxine Shaw, attorney at law.
That's right.
Yeah, she is getting her flowers. In an article I read, the flowers that she so richly deserves. Best known for her iconic role again as Maxine Shaw on the beloved 90s sitcom Living Single, she has become a cherished figure in the entertainment world. Born in Arizona, I did not know that, but raised in Philadelphia, that's what I knew. Alexander has a strong connection to the city that helped stage her. Her talent and charisma have made her a staple in households over the decades, and recently, Philadelphia honored her with a street renaming right there in her home city. And yeah, I want to be like that one girl. I want to do something notable enough to where my hometown is like, hey, you know what? We're gonna name a street after you or something. But I do come from a town that has Smoot as a street, so I don't know.
Yeah, I done seen a couple streets from my maiden name as well. But I'm like, that street look real ghetto. I don't like that. That is not cute.
That is hilarious. All right, who you want to be like when you grow up?
When I grow up, I want to be like, and I'm sorry if I butcher this name because it is an African name. So
okay,
I want to be like Nzambi Mati, who is a 29-year-old engineer and founder of Genji Makers, a Nairobi-based startup turning plastic waste into stronger than concrete building materials.
Word.
By mixing recycled plastic with sand, Nzambi is not only creating sustainable solutions, but also redefining the future of construction. Her innovative work has earned her the prestigious title of Young Champion of the Earth. Period. Wow. 2020
Champion of the Earth?
Of the Earth.
I'll tell you what, black people be doing everything. We out here, Kamala, controlling the weather. She up here controlling the earth. Work.
Period. Let's see, Young Champion of the Earth 2020 Africa from UNEP. A true change maker, she's showing the world how waste can be transformed into opportunity. I know that's right.
I know that's right too. Woo! All right. So, I guess we're gonna keep the show moving right along.
Absolutely.
If it were lyric, up next.
I want to check in on my Haitian followers real quick. Because as a Black American, I don't find the dehumanization of minority groups to be funny. Trump going on national TV to tell Americans that Haitian immigrants are eating their pets is terroristic. It is done for the purpose of A, making us view them as subhuman, B, making us distrust them, and C, inviting violence against them, violence that is already unfolding, by the way. I'm from Ohio, and it's actually happening. No, it's not, boo-boo the fool. You falling for racist propaganda. Haitian people are not visibly distinguishable from other Black people. Illegal Haitian immigrants are not visibly distinguishable from Haitian Americans. So for all the people that are allegedly eating cats and dogs, please explain to me how you can tell that they are Haitian immigrants specifically, especially when there are no police reports to be found about these incidents. There is one body cam video being circulated as proof. That is of a woman who was alleged to have consumed a cat. That woman was American and going through psychosis. Y'all haven't noticed that the government keeps giving you imaginary adversaries so you don't realize that they're the real ones? We have been conditioned to view immigrants as interlopers, as outsiders, as people that we have to battle for safety and resources. We're told to believe that if we simply keep these people out, that all of our problems as American citizens will simply go away. Meanwhile, the U.S. is one of the countries that drained Haiti of its resources and its money, making it economically unstable, which drives a lot of them to come here in the first place. You're worried about immigrants stealing your jobs? Baby, that job doesn't even pay you enough to thrive in the country that you were born in. You're worried about being endangered by immigrants while being scared to send your children to school because of domestic terrorism by the same demographic that is asking you to be scared of immigrants. They're getting all this government assistance while Americans starve. There is more than enough money to provide for American citizens, to shelter the homeless, to raise minimum wage, to pay for health care. But instead, our government invests billions in the cops that shoot us in our homes and the weapons that are used to commit genocide. And while y'all battle displaced people for crumbs, the politicians eat well, baby, and I ain't talking about no fucking pets.
Maybe not what you should do, but definitely she would if it were lyric.
Hey, what's going on, you guys? It's your girl, Miss Lyric, and I'm back with my segment, If It Were Lyric, where I talk about relationship, friendship, situationship advice, and I give my 2 cents. If you guys want to continue sending me your advice questions, please do not hesitate to send me an email at lurkbravado@gmail.com or DM me on Twitter, Facebook, or Instagram. And let's begin.
Am I going first or you?
You can go first because this second one's a doozy.
Okie dokie. And I got one from subject line read, concern for my family during Hurricane Milton. So I selected that one. It says, Dear Lyric, I'm reaching out with a heavy heart as Hurricane Milton approaches, and I'm feeling overwhelmed with concern for my family. We don't have much money, and the thought of evacuating feels draining, especially since my family has always been resilient during past hurricanes. They believe they can ride this one out as they have with the years of storms before, but something about this particular hurricane doesn't sit right with me. I've seen the news reports and the warnings, and my gut is telling me that this storm could be different. My family tends to brush off my concerns, insisting they've weathered worse and they'll be fine, but I can't shake the feeling that this time could be dangerous. I want to respect their choices, but I'm terrified for their safety. I know we don't have a lot of resources, but I can't help but wonder if there's something more I can do to protect them. If it were you in this situation, what would you do? How would you convince loved ones to take a potential threat seriously when they're so set on staying put? I appreciate any advice you could share to help me navigate through this tough situation. Thank you for taking the time to read my letter. I love the insights you bring to the podcast and hope to hear your thoughts on this. Warm regards, Jennifer.
Ooh, Jennifer.
Didn't say where she's from.
All right, Jennifer. Well, if you are from the area, I can't stress enough, evacuate if it's possible. If it's not possible, do whatever you can to find the safest place that you can and stress that to your loved ones. I understand that everybody doesn't have the resources or finances to just get up and go. Some people don't even have vehicle to even do that. I'm not sure what they're doing down there, if they're providing like buses to get out of town or whatever the case may be. But that's one of the things that I would at least give them. If that's something that, you know what I'm saying, that they're doing, give the information. And the best thing that you can do is just pray over the situation. Because when it comes to older people, people tend to get set in their ways about a lot of things. I'm not moving. I'm fine. This, that,
but the hurricane.
That hurricane ain't gonna do nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like, people tend to get set in their ways. The only thing that you can do is send positive vibes. Pray that, you know, everybody will be safe, and send whatever information that you can as far as resources. But unfortunately, that's all you can do. That's what I would do, because you can't make somebody do something. As much as you want to, you can't make somebody do something. It's up to them to, you know, make that decision for themselves. So whatever resources that you find, send that information and just pray for the best.
Yeah, my heart goes out.
Everybody, safety.
Yeah, because my heart goes out on that, because y'all are, whoa. I mean, I've just been reading the reports, and they're saying that this is the worst one yet. And they've had some doozies already, so it's just like, wow.
Yeah, I mean, some of my mutuals on Facebook are saying that they're going to end up staying and trying to ride it out, you know? And they're like in the direct path. So I'm just like, I just pray that everything goes well for them. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's hard. It's hard. It's hard.
Wow.
It's a tough situation to be in. Wow. All right. This next one is very long. So y'all bear with me as I read it. It says, "Dear Lyric, I'm sorry in advance, but this is a little long." And it is. It's a lot to unpack, so please understand when you read this. I have to remain anonymous. But I was listening to your advice last week to the woman that was essayed, and I felt that you could give me advice too. It's been a very emotional and difficult time for me lately, and here is why. I have been married to my wonderful partner for 4 amazing years. We met in college and dated, graduated, lost touch, found each other again, and it's been magical ever since. I feel horrible for what I'm going to say next, but here it is. My partner had to have surgery this past January, and everything went well, so we thought. Over the summer, we received a letter stating that my partner was possibly exposed to hepatitis B, C, and or HIV because of the anesthesiologist. We were advised to get my partner tested as soon as possible. Well, my worst fear has come to pass. My partner is positive for HIV, but I am negative. You was just gasping.
No, I'm so sorry, but these, what happened to like the yellow toenail letters? Bring them back, Jesus.
My partner is positive, but I am negative. We use condoms and other forms of birth control. The issue I'm having is we were going to start trying for a child once they've healed from the procedure. I'm devastated, and I feel that my life has been ripped apart. I love my partner, but I had dreams of being a mom, experiencing pregnancy, giving birth, etc. I have resentful feelings that I feel guilty about because I know it's not my partner's fault. It doesn't help that our families are asking about grandkids. We haven't told anyone this happened yet, and I'm not ready to. I feel that my family will try to pressure me to leave and take this as a sign. I just don't know what to do. Lyric, please help me.
Wow.
And I have to pause for a minute because yes, this was a lot. Those feelings are normal, first and foremost. I understand that you feel resentment, but the resentment should not be misplaced. The resentment should be towards the anesthesiologist who did this to your partner, not your partner. It is in no way, shape, or form your partner's fault. And I think you understand that. But we need to make sure that these feelings are not misplaced, first and foremost. Secondly, if you're going to stay with your partner, you need to make sure that you understand how to move forward. There are medications for him that he can take, and that you can take as well. I believe you could take PrEP. Am I right?
That is correct.
If you want to move forward in this relationship, as far as having children, there are other options. You could still have a baby. It just won't be by your partner. You can adopt. You can have the option of doing IVF, where you get a donor. That is just a conversation that you and your partner is going to have moving forward in regards to children and how this affects you and him moving forward, if that's a decision that he agrees with. As far as your family is involved, I really wouldn't place too much on what their opinion is about the situation unless you're having these feelings of you wanting to leave. And from what I gathered, it doesn't sound like that. It just sounds like you're in this grieving mode, which is perfectly normal. I just want to make sure that your feelings aren't misplaced. Definitely lawyer up.
For that, absolutely.
Get a lawyer.
Get paid. But
Get
I mean,
that coin. Because even if you all do decide to have a baby, IVF is very expensive.
Mm-hmm.
Very expensive if you have to pay out of pocket, because some insurances do not cover that. But you have that option. Definitely talk to your partner about this. If you want to tell your family, make sure that you have a long conversation with your partner about what you're going to say, how you're going to say it, and let the chips fall where they may. If the people have opinions, oh well, it doesn't matter, because at the end of the day, it's about what you and your partner have going on. You guys are a union.
I mean, you also need to just realize that there are also other options in the event that, well, I'm sorry, there are options of him being a father, even with HIV. Like Lyric said earlier, there's PrEP. If he's undetectable, you can still father a child and not pass a viral load. Like, there are options for you. But like she said, best bet is to consult a mental health. I'm so used to saying that on this show.
And we're going to talk about that later.
We will. But to consult a health professional about this, and especially one that specializes in this. That's a lot to deal with, and that's a lot for you to work through. So I hope that you do have a mental health professional that can help you work through that. See, I knew it was going to pop up somewhere.
Yep, and all of these feelings that you have, is definitely beneficial for you to talk to somebody about it. Even if you have to have couples therapy, you guys can do it together, because I'm sure your partner has some feelings too. This was something done to him, and I know that if it were me, I would definitely feel some type of way about it. So, yes, do the work so you can move forward. I hope this works out for the best of you all. And I hope that I helped with my advice. And that is basically it for this week, you guys. Keep sending me your advice questions to my email. Again, that is lyricbravado@gmail.com, or feel free to DM me on my social media platforms, which is Twitter, Instagram, or Facebook.
All right. So up next, what is it? Speaking of which, that's what we renamed it to. Are we married to Speaking of? Are we married to that? Before I make like a drop and everything for it, because right now I just be like trolling.
I kind of like trolling, but I mean, it doesn't matter.
I mean, if you want, okay, we'll call it trolling, but then we'll we'll speaking of which, I don't know, whatever. We'll be right back.
How did we go from fighting a revolution over a 2% tax on a breakfast beverage to what we pay today? And we're taxed on money when we receive it, when we spend it, when we keep it, when we invest it, and even when we die with it. It gets worse. We commute to work to make that money in a car that is taxed again to register on roads we're already taxed to build, fueled by gas that is taxed even further, and many times through tolls that tax you again. That's to maintain bridges and highways and tunnels that already have billions of dollars, taxpayer dollars, allocated to them, and they're still falling apart. And then when you get to your office that is taxed to exist, in a corporation that is also taxed to do business, that almost certainly requires permits and other things, which are another tax, you are paid a paycheck that the corporation must match another payroll tax on top of what they have to pay you. Then you go to a home of which you are taxed to own every single year that we bought with money that the government already taxed us on. Oh, by the way, the more money you make and the more you pay in taxes warrants the government taking more and even higher percentages of your money.
Time to troll.
Well, it has been a week, hasn't it, Miss Lyric?
Absolutely. It's been crazy.
But you know what? Last week, okay, so I wanted to, I texted you earlier in the week last week, and I was like, you sure you don't want to do a show? Because after the debate, that shit, it sent me spiraling. Did you watch it?
Which one? The presidential or
The
vice
debate.
president?
The vice presidential.
I did not watch the vice president because the presidential one threw me so bad. I didn't want to know or watch and see any shenanigans with the vice president. So I did not watch it.
Well, I mean, they were polar opposite as far as disposition. Like, Donald Trump literally got up there and sounded like a blithering idiot. I mean, okay, Vance did too, but Vance sounded like it was like, I'm a liar. He sounded like the average schemy ass colonizing ass. You know what I'm saying? Like, he sounded like that. And it was just giving those vibes. But yeah, it was pretty bad. Alrighty, let's get into this mess for this week.
Yes.
Let's see. I guess I will start it off by saying rest in power to Sissy Houston.
Child.
I mean, where is everybody going? Did you hear that whole scandal about James Amos?
Hold on. With the daughter?
Yes.
Yes, I did actually hear about that. She ain't talked to that man in 40 days, in 40 nights.
But here's the thing. So, I'm sorry, John Amos. Here's the thing. He passed away last month. I'm sorry, he passed away in August, the month after last, or before last. So, it was like, dude, he passed away. Nobody knew. Nobody informed anybody. And then there was just this back and forth with the family. There was all this nonsense and drama, but woo. Anyways, Sissy, I can never stay on topic. Sissy Houston. Powerhouse. Heartbreaking moment for the music world, I'm telling you. She's the beloved mother of the late Whitney Houston and a celebrated gospel singer. She passed away at the age of 91 on October 7th. She died peacefully at her home in New Jersey while under hospice care for Alzheimer's disease, surrounded by her family. She began her illustrious career as a young girl performing in a family gospel act, and gained prominence in the 1960s as a member of the Sweet Inspiration. And she worked with artists like Elvis Presley, Aretha Franklin, Otis Redding. I mean, she has over 600 songs. This woman has a catalog.
Yes, she does.
And I mean, and she's the mother of the late great Whitney also. So
the voice.
Period. The one that all of y'all wish you could be. Well, I mean, the voice, not the situation, but you know.
Yep, I saw that. I'm amazed at how many people did not know Dionne Warwick was her niece.
Yeah, their whole family. How? Okay, never mind. This is America.
Because she got on there and said, I'm so deeply saddened. However, knowing that my Aunt Sissy died peacefully and that she is in a much better place is consolation and comfort to me. I have seen your messages of condolences on behalf of my family. Thank you. And all up underneath her post, people talking about what? I didn't know Dionne Warwick was related to her and this, that, and the third. How come you did not know? Like, information highway, hello.
It's a lot of stuff that people don't know that I'm finding out that, I don't know, maybe this is the thing of where when you get old, you be like, you know how like your grandmother and stuff, they be bitching at you about something, you be like, how am I supposed to know about that? That happened back in this, that, and the third. They call us, they say that happened back in the 1900s about us now.
Like, come on.
I'm just saying. Okay. I don't have a speaking of which to that. I'm just gonna leave that alone and just say, speaking of, that's not it either. I was gonna say speaking of better things, but okay. Speaking of better things.
No. Let's get this out the way. Speaking of, let's talk about Diddy. Let's talk about the lady who is suing him, Thalia Graves, who filed the lawsuit alleging that she was raped and the incident was recorded. Well, let's all pump your brakes because Miss Mama's ex-boyfriend said, incorrect. Because she tried to offer him money to back her story, child. And guess what?
Hold on.
That's not all.
Okay.
That's not all. Because I did a little bit more digging.
But wait, there's more.
There's more. P. Diddy's ex-security was also asked to corroborate a story by this woman. That's so crazy. He did an interview with, I think, Vlad TV. And he showed the text messages. Now, mind you, it didn't have a name, but the person was like, is your name so-and-so? Well, I will give you this amount of money if you corroborate my story saying that Diddy did this, that, and the third.
So they are paying people off to just make up stories, or...
Yes. Here's the kicker. During the time, because he ended up cussing that person out who texted him. So she named him as somebody who was there when this happened. Here's the kicker, though. He brought receipts. He wasn't even working for him at that time.
Listen, okay. Here's the thing. I get how y'all gotta make money any way you can. It's hard out here. It really is. But what are y'all doing, really?
Yeah. Everybody trying to profit. That's why it pisses me off, because it makes it that much harder for the real victims to be believed.
It really does. That is so true.
I'm over it.
Okay. All right. Well, speaking of, I'm not gonna say that. Oh my God, I'm in a confrontational mood, so all of the things that I say are like hateful and mean. All right.
Okay.
All right. Speaking of good things that are not happening anywhere else, but in this particular story, Biden has, President Biden has dropped a game-changing plan to tackle the lead pipe situation here in the U.S. So all the lead pipes and stuff, he's trying to make a plan to where they're replaced. Because, I mean, let's be honest. Look at people out here. Look at what they're doing right now. Look at Marjorie Taylor Greene. She thinks the Democrats control weather. Lead in the water is a big issue, because a lot of y'all walking around strange, and I want to believe that it's the lead. Now, if it's not the lead, then that's one thing. But I do think that this is an excellent plan because, at the very least, a lot of y'all have some questionable behavior. And right now, we have a mental health crisis in America. It's a crisis right now.
It really is.
And we don't need lead water adding to the problem. So, that'd be wild.
And I don't need y'all to be using that shit as an excuse to be assholes to people. I drank lead when I was little. That's
Listen, oh my God, they used to do that in school. They used to do that in school because there was a few special children and stuff, and you'd be like, okay, well, what's going on with you? Oh, when I was little, my mother made me, or I used to eat paint chips or whatever it is. There were different stories that people had, and I'm not laughing at them because it's horrible. It's a horrible situation, but it's just like, that explains a lot of what I see out here. Including this story. Speaking of which, Mark Zuckerberg. Have you heard about him and his wife and that car?
I did hear about that. Why is it news?
Why is this news? Why is this a headline that Mark Zuckerberg, what did they say, the richest man in the world? Is he being recategorized as the richest? I know it was being talked about.
I know he wanted the richest.
Well, I mean, he is one of that, but I don't know where he falls on the scale, but this rich man has decided to buy a custom Porsche for his wife, and we don't care. So, anyways.
People buy cars every day, B.
They really do. But because it's custom and it's for him and because it's his wife, then whatever. All right. What you got? You got another one?
Yeah, so let's see. DDG, for those who don't know, is a popular YouTuber who is in a relationship
Speaking of irrelevant things,
Bailey, has the internet in an uproar because he decided to come out and make a post and let the world know that he and Haley are no longer in a relationship. And everybody and their mammy has something to say about it.
Hallelujah. Hallelujah.
I mean, everybody has something to say about it. So,
listen,
me personally, I do not have an opinion on this.
I do.
Obviously, he made her happy to some degree where she wanted to have his child. So I can't really speak on him. I know that he's like a YouTuber slash rapper slash prankster, whatever. He lives his life on the internet, kind of like Soulja Boy. That's really all I know about him. My kids know more so about him than anything, but I don't understand all the hate he was getting.
Okay, so the hate comes from the bullshit that he kept putting Hallie through. So at first, and this is before he started being a good father, when she was pregnant, he was putting her through it. And that started a lot of the rhetoric about people not really liking him because he was going back and forth with her, having then the Shade Room talk about this girl that just dropped the movie as the new Disney princess. So black people are like, hold on, she is the second coming. She's like a protege of Beyonce, Destiny's grandchild, if you will. So you gonna leave this one alone and stop dragging her into ratchet shit. And I think that was the majority of the energy that he was receiving up until people started seeing, okay, you know what? He is a decent father. He was posting pictures of him, playful banter and good fatherism with the baby. So people, let that other shit kind of slide. Sort of like they did with Dwayne Wade. People was like giving him all that hate until he turned out to be a really good father to his trans daughter. So, it was sort of like that kind of energy, but now, it is what it is. But I know that a lot of us older heads that was seeing the path that she was going down as far as getting involved, like when you have a light and then you get involved with somebody that's trash, they can sometimes muddy you up too.
Yeah.
So, I didn't want to see. I didn't want to see that for her.
Well, he got on the internet today and said that he doesn't plan on getting into another relationship unless him and Haley rekindle, because he does not want multiple baby mamas.
Wow. I mean, okay. I'm scared to say. I'm very scared to praise him because, see, people like Tiffany Haddish that I used to date for, they got me scared to say nice things about people now, because the moment that you do, they come out and disappoint you. So for right now, I will say he's conducting himself kind of maturely. So maybe I don't dislike him as much.
And I have to say, Miss Bailey has a hell of a publicist, because she has come out and said absolutely nothing. She ain't speaking on shit.
Just like I told you who her mentor is.
Yeah,
and Beyonce don't answer to none of y'all. Beyonce don't answer to none of y'all.
She don't even talk to y'all no more.
She does not. None of it. Just no, not doing that. Let's see. Speaking about shocking revelations, did you hear about this headline about the body cam footage related to the death of Ronald Green?
No.
Okay. So, for those that may not be in the loop and everything, Ronald Green was a black man who died in police custody back in 2019 after a traffic stop in Louisiana. And this was, again, during a time that everybody was marching. We had a lot going on. At the time, officials claimed that he died from a car crash, but the truth was way darker. So now here comes the twist. This newly released body cam footage is showing a whole different story. It shows that the police officers allegedly used excessive force during their arrest and then tried to cover it up. We talk about some serious misconduct. Officers were seen tossing him, using physical violence against him while he was on. It was a lot going on. So this is surfacing. The situation has sparked outrage and renewed a call for accountability in law enforcement. So I don't know what's going on down there. I know that it's about to be an issue. I know it's about to be a big issue. And that, again, the proof is right there. We won't look at it.
That's crazy. Other crazy news. People are pissed off because some fan decided to tape himself getting Young Miami's reaction to asking her to sign a bottle of baby oil.
Wow.
Things have gotten so out of hand, and some of you have lost so much touch with reality that you think that this is okay. You forget that these people are human. That was so inappropriate. And so very much clown behavior.
And see, this is why I don't. This is why, the jokes and the memes and this stuff. That's why, now it's less fun than it used to be. Because maybe it's an age thing. I don't know. But at this point, y'all are doing things like this that, even the YouTube creators. This is why I don't support YouTube creators that peddle those, or that have those little channels to where they're looking at ghost videos and, ooh, is it real? Is it not? They're talking about the Matrix, and people are showing videos of, ooh, the bird that stopped in the middle of the sky. It's not moving, because then it snowballs in conspiracy theories that then snowball into bigger actions by idiots like this one. And again, the story about Diddy, it wasn't about the sexual assault. It wasn't about the victims. The headlines were 1,000 bottles of baby oil. The memes were out of control. Yeah, some of them were hilarious. but then you don't have people that know when to stop. You don't have people that you don't like. People right now, they don't know to leave there on the internet once they log off. They then take it a step further and assault people with things like this. And when I say assault, I don't mean just physical. That's emotional assault.
Mm-hmm.
Are you kidding
Adding
me?
to people's already their trauma. That girl was in a relationship with him. Now, whether she knew what was going on or not, that's between her and whatever God that she serves. But at the end of the day, like, leave people alone. She's probably, going through it right now. And, everybody's coming at her saying this, that, and the third. At the end of the day, she's not the one in jail. She's not the one being accused of doing all of this stuff. She was just in a high-profile relationship with that man. And so you doing all of this, that, and the third, while she done been broke up with him way before he was arrested. She's trying to move on with her life. Like, I don't understand why people got to be such dicks to people like that. Leave people alone. Leave people alone. Because what if she would have got her security to punch you in the fucking face?
Right.
Then y'all would have been like, oh, I'm suing her, this, that, and the third. Nah, just leave people alone. You go too far.
Speaking of prominent dicks, happy 44th birthday to Nick Cannon.
Hey, everybody, baby father.
That dick is busy. Let me tell you, that dick. But I hand it to the brother. He definitely holds many jobs.
Yes, he do.
But he can't.
All them daggone kids.
Listen, he cannot possibly be a father. Not even an active father in all of their kids' lives. Wasn't he on a podcast one time or a show to where they were joking with him and everything and asked him to name all his kids and he forgot one?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, okay. Well, let's see. Speaking again of prominent dicks, Donald Trump. Did you hear how he and Melania met?
I did. But tell the
people want to hear
what happened.
Did we care? Did we?
Some people might care.
It's in pop culture news. All right. Well, the story goes as old girl was out and about. Donald Trump was on a date with someone else. And they met. And, I guess the rest is history. I can tell you more. I don't really care. Look it up if you do. But long story short, he met her cheating on her. I'm sorry, he met her cheating on the woman that he was with. So, yeah, that should tell you.
Who's surprised by this? Raise your hand.
Real quick.
Oh, okay. Oh my gosh.
Is there anything else on the shade room we care about?
No. I think that's about it.
I was going to talk about no, I'm not going to talk about that. I don't care. Anyways, all right. Up next, I say I be trying to care. I do. I mean, I be doing my best, y'all. Because some of this shit is dumb. You got the nigga that wrote songs for J-Lo chiming in talking about R&B has lost its edge and stuff, which I don't disagree. Mm-hmm. I mean, R&B has lost its edge a little bit. Or I'm sorry, he says that it's lost its soul.
It's true though.
He's known for producing a variety of tracks across like different genres. Like, so the producer Rockstar, he came out and he was like, "Oh yeah, so R&B, it ain't got its soul no more. It ain't got its magic." And I mean, I don't disagree. But I don't know. That's because what's mainstream right now is garbage. I'm sorry, it is, with the exception of maybe like 2 or 3 that I can name offhand. Everybody, it's a lot of garbage out here, and the people that are out here singing soulfully, and people that are out here trying to do things, you won't see them because they ain't at the Diddy part.
Oh, go ahead.
I'm just saying, you won't see them.
A lot of people sound the same too, though. It's like a lot of people are overproduced, and it's no creativity anymore to me. It's like everybody is backpedaling to like taking from songs from the early 2000s. Now I hear so many freaking remixes to other people's songs. Like, where's the creativity at?
Right, there is none. And then meanwhile, you got Chris Brown shucking and jiving and trying to jump on every popular song to keep himself relevant. I'm just like, okay, leave us alone. All of this. All right, that's it.
Music. I have one more thing.
Okay.
Are y'all here for Glorilla and Kirk Franklin doing a collaboration? Because apparently it has happened.
Who asked for that?
Kirk Franklin is going to be featured on Glorilla's upcoming album. Are we here for it?
I mean, what? Okay, what's the genre? What's the category? What's it given? I mean, have they announced like what kind of?
It's on her album, so she does rap. So I don't know what that could possibly sound like.
Well, we know Kirk. We know Kirk cuss now because, well, that whole exchange with his that whole exchange with his son. We know he cuss. We know he can get down and dirty with the best of them. But Glorilla ain't. You know, she ain't really. I don't know. What do you think of Glorilla? What do you think?
I'm not really mad at her. She don't really do too much to me.
Yeah, she's,
you know
like
what I'm saying? She's
like one.
She's a little ratchet, but she don't take it too far. She has some coof with her, so
right.
I'm not really mad at that.
Me either. I like Glory. Like, I mean, I really do, because she, like you said, she's not as ratchet, but she's like very likable.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I ain't really like her talking about how she like her nigga to nut on her food. You saw that podcast?
I mean, that was a bit much. I forgot about that. That was a bit much. But I mean, girl, it seems to me that whoever her team is, they got her a little together. Because I haven't heard nothing like that from her in a little while. So, you know,
true.
I'm not mad at her. Go ahead, girl.
Yeah. Little nut on the bagel. It's all right. We forgive you. Up next, my segment. I'm gonna call it this week, "Bi Men Exist."
Okay.
I'm not voting for either candidate because both candidates are trash. It's like I have to pick the lesser of two evils. What? The lesser of two evils? Let's talk about it. Only one candidate has been president for 4 years. His name's Donald Trump. And during those 4 years, 900,000 Americans died due to a pandemic that he downplayed. And he told you it was going to go away as soon as it warmed up outside. But it didn't. And over 900,000 Americans had to pay the price that year. And you are living the price gouging of the pandemic. That's why things are costing you more in the stores. It has nothing to do with the current administration. Because if Donald Trump had handled the pandemic like a real president, your life wouldn't have had to be interrupted. If Trump handled the pandemic the way that Obama handled Ebola, we wouldn't have had as many casualties. Not to mention, Obama left Trump a playbook on what to do if there was ever a pandemic. Trump refused to read it. 2 people died from Ebola. 900,000 people died from the pandemic. You're not voting because you're mad about the war in Israel and Palestine? Did you know that Trump's plan for Palestine is to wipe them off the map? Trump's plan is to give that land to Israel. Kamala's plan is peace talks. So when you say you're not voting, you're really voting for a war. And guess who's going to have to fight that war? It'll be you. It'll be your children. Because you don't want to vote. It's not that you don't want to vote for the lesser of two evils. It's that you're not informed enough to make an informed decision about who should be running this country. And instead of saying that, you should really try to research which party has done the most for your everyday life. Like the fact that you don't have to get put off your parents' insurance until you're 26. Thanks, Affordable Care Act from the Democrats. Ooh, how about when the American Rescue Plan increased the child tax credit from $2,000 to $3,600? Thank you, Democrats. $3,600 per child under 6. I'm sure that really helped out a lot of people. And $3,000 for those over 6. Now you can say you're not voting, but don't say it's because you have to choose the lesser of two evils. It's because you don't know, or either you're choosing to forget.
Marcus has your glimpse into a world without seasoning.
Okie dokie, so we're back. And like I said, I'm calling my segment this week "Why Men Exist." So here's the backstory of where it all began. Like I told y'all earlier in the show about how I keep getting tagged in videos and things of people that I guess directly want me to either respond or they want to start an argument or have a discussion. Lately, I've been getting tagged a lot in videos of gay men speaking to usually straight women about how to tell if your man is on the down low, or how to tell if your man is cheating with another man, and all these things. And they kind of give this listen, I'm not going to name the creator because I don't want to bring attention to this nonsense, but I do want to explain what the nonsense is. First and foremost, bi men exist. They do. Gay. Everybody knows gay. Trans. Lesbian. But the bis of the world tend to get forgotten a lot. And the reason being is because I guess a lot of them, for a lot of men, saying that they were bisexual was like usually a softer blow to their friends and family when it came, when coming out, than it would just be to be gay. Because a lot of women will argue, the gay guy I was, gay guys that I know, they all said that they came out, and when they first came out, they said they were bi, but they knew that they weren't, blah, 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 blah. Not the issue. They do exist. There can be an attraction to more than one sex. The problem is with creators that create content like, let me tell you how to tell if your man is gay and down low and all this other stuff. It's like sometimes men will get beat up more for cheating if it's with another man. And I want to know why that is. It's not the fact that he cheated, because a lot of y'all will sit there and he will cheat on y'all 10 times in your face with another woman. The moment that you think it's another dick in the room, then the whole conversation changes. And then you take the actions that you need to take to leave him, which you probably already should have done because he was cheating on you in the first place. But the thing is, get back to what I'm saying about these kind of content creators. They spark fear in a lot of straight women, because straight women, they don't know the gay life. As close, a lot of them don't. As close in proximity as they can be to gay people. Like you and I are friends. And there's still a lot about the gay life that you don't know, and that's simply because I don't really bring you. I don't really go out to the gay life. You know what I'm saying? Like 0%, like probably 0.1% of my day is gay. Like I don't really do or participate in a lot of events. I mean, I will if it's like charity or something like that. But to just go out and socialize, I might go to like a bar or something if it's a gay bar, but I'm not really doing that. But the problem with these creators, they'll go out and they'll take that already mystery and they'll turn it into more, and they'll kind of play off your fears. And it's like, oh, well, girl, if he cheating, the way to tell if it's a man, this, that, and the third. Why not just put out content? Like, if your aim is to help people, why would you not just put out content to, okay, well, if you're positioning yourself as a dating coach or whatever these content creators call themselves, then be that. But you can't fuel already hateful rhetoric towards, and what makes it even worse is that these are gay men that then make an argument for women that then ends up hurting them even further. And the thing is, you're not even telling the truth with these things.
So, to answer your question, why? I don't have an issue with some of them, because some of these creators aren't using that angle as far as the fear mongering.
Okay.
What needs to happen is you need to talk more about taking away somebody's choice to decide if they want to be with someone who is bisexual. That's just like someone saying, I'm trans and I don't feel like I have to be upfront about it to a potentially straight guy. Well, you have to be truthful to a certain extent and give somebody a choice if that's, something that they want to be involved in. It's all about people having the right to choose, to me.
Excellent. And that's an excellent point. I'm glad that you bring it up. But here's the thing. And I mean, you hit the nail on the head. I am not taking that away from you, because you are correct 100% that people should absolutely be honest with the people that they are dealing with about whatever situation it is, sexuality or otherwise. And you should be given a choice about whether or not you want to, pursue something further with the person that you're dealing with. However, I will only say that the closet exists because of hate and fear in the first place. You can't get mad about a situation that you then create. Well, I mean, you can, but let's just be honest with ourselves in saying that we've created this standard, because the first thing, a lot of what I see out here is there's so many thoughts that rush into my head, so I kind of have to dissect them. But what I see a lot is people, if a man tells them that they're bisexual, well, first off, they're not given that label of bisexuality. That's why I'm calling this segment Bi Men Exist. Because then they're automatically slapped with the fag label. Automatically. Oh, well, he's gay. This, that, and the third. And they get no further, like, it's, oh, girl, he's gay. He just, that, third. It's never, oh, he's bi, or, hey, it's never that. So when they're honest, or when they were honest, we didn't give them an opportunity. And then we get, and I mean, again, it's a double-edged sword. Because, like, you're hurting yourself by hurting others, but nobody's being honest, because people, when you're in those spaces, you don't feel as though you can be safe. Gay people spend a lot of their adult lives, honestly, unpacking shit that a lot of straight people got to unpack when they were children. As adults, a lot of us gay people, we spend a lot of time dissecting the parts of ourselves that are actually us versus what we did to kind of fit into other groups of people, because we weren't allowed to be ourselves initially.
Yeah. I feel
and with bi men, my heart goes out sometimes, just, in having to deal with that line, because it's like, yeah, if I find a woman attractive and I want, like, first off, if I'm speaking about me, but if I'm hitting on a woman, and I'm gay, but if I'm hitting on, okay, I'm a bad example then, but if a man is hitting on a woman, it's a thing of where I'm assuming that a bi person, he already knows what the plumbing look like. And if he don't, he cool with what's going on down there in the genital party anyway. So, I don't know. Y'all just create a lot of problems for yourselves. We create a lot of problems for ourselves. That's my rant.
Think about how much the world has changed in 15 years, how much technology has advanced, how much information has been disseminated, how much we've grown as a society thinking about, health, thinking about wealth, thinking about how we relate to each other, and then think about how the minimum wage has not budged not once in that 15 years. Do we still live in the same world and reality that where the cost of living allow for you to have a federal minimum wage of like $7 and some change? Do we still live in that world? No. In my opinion, when corporations celebrate these record high profits, that's really just wage stuff, because that could have been paid to the workers that's slaving, putting blood, sweat, and tears, and you being able to celebrate these record high profits. Here's an illustration of what happens in our country. When we say we want minimum wage, we have somebody sitting on a mountain of money that has been used and extracted from our labor, telling us that our greed is hurting the economy. Then the same people who say that human activity can't affect the climate are now saying the government is creating hurricanes. It's almost like they don't want to invest in public education or invest in raising the minimum wage. They don't want to invest in nothing. And on top of the minimum wage being held hostage at $7 and some change and the ecological control, we have a housing shortage. You feel me? So not only do you have people that really can't even afford houses, the people that can't afford houses can't get one. Between the zoning laws, the high interest rates, the algorithmic fixing, our country is going to hell in a handbasket real fast, or all of us is just one check from being unhoused. If billionaires are worried about a wealth tax, they should get a second job. Stop buying coffee and avocado toast and pull themselves up by the bootstraps and do better and save a job. Or use some of that money, and instead of buying them a jet or going to the moon, they can just get them a better financial team. Think about it. We hold broke people that's having to eat, sleep for dinner to high standards of holding their finances. Then we do multi-million dollar, billion-dollar corporations that get bailed out with our taxpayer dollars anytime they start messing up their money. Crazy, ain't it? The minimum wage now is worse than it's been since 1949. Think about how much we say our society has advanced since 1949 and how many people is living with not being able to access a livable wage. There are very many states that have a higher minimum wage in their state than the federal minimum wage, but in states like Texas, where I live at, hey man, we are very, very much focused and influenced how we get paid and how our labor is valued based off what the federal minimum wage is. Basically saying what happens federally has a ripple effect in how all our wages are valued across the country. So we have a housing shortage, and we have a shortage of people being able to afford homes, but Supreme Court is saying that cities can punish people for sleeping outside in public places. So it is illegal to be unhoused, huh? We'll pass some laws that make it easier for us to buy a house and fix some of them zoning laws that make it easier for y'all to build some houses, man. Education is elevation. We got to do better.
Take us to work. Take us on the go. Take us wherever you go. WRTR, Real Talk Radio.
Inside the second half of the show here on WRTR Real Talk Radio. How you feeling, Mr. Lyric?
I'm feeling grand.
All right, so let's talk this discussion sparked by meteorologist Jody Kadesh.
Okay.
Basically, she's brought attention to a study that claims to identify the months that produce the most attractive people.
I'm about to be mad, ain't I?
No, actually, I don't know. Well, okay, this list again. This is somebody named, like I said, Jody. So, we'll go with that. But it has been trending. It has been trending. So, here they are in order.
Okay.
Or should I just start at the bottom? Do you want the top? And then we work up to the most attractive month?
No, start from the
All
top.
right.
Start from the top. Because I want to see who got number one. So I can.
All right. Well, the most attractive people were born in April. That would be Tigger Man. It is.
God, don't tell him that. He's never going to let that shit down. Good grief.
Number 2 would be January.
Okay.
That would be my sister. That would be Heather. That would be a lot of people. I know a lot of Capricorn. That's Number 3 is the 3rd month, March. Number 4, June.
That's my
Number 5, February.
That's my mom. Okay.
Number 6, May.
That's my sister.
Okay, so we halfway through this.
Oh,
we halfway through the list, and my month ain't came up, so I'm ugly. So we're on the ugly side. We on the ugly side over here. All right. So number 7.
yeah.
Number 7 is August. Number 8 is September. Number 9 is November. Number 10 is October.
I know you lied.
Number 11, December. And that leaves July as number 12.
Dang.
July got the ugliest niggas.
No, not my baby. Absolutely not. Not my baby. Hey, we're not savvy.
There is a disclaimer. It says, while the idea of ranking attractiveness by birth month is entertaining, it's important to recognize that this study is more of a lighthearted take rather than a rigorous scientific analysis. So,
okay.
Do with that what you will.
Because let's not go too far now.
I'm assuming they just took a whole bunch of, people they knew and was like, they rated them from ugliest to most attractive.
Y'all put them mumps in a hat, shook that shit around, and picked one. Because I know you fucking lying. Stop it.
I'm ugly as fuck according to this list. I love it. All right, so we're going to leave this listener letter for next week, and we're going to move on to the Wi-Files. We'll be right back.
Fossil fuels driving climate change. Not demure at all. Very dangerous. Very aggressive. Which brings me to Justice 40. Research shows that over 70% of U.S. fossil fuel plants operate in or around low-income communities and communities of color. These are communities that are already under-resourced and overburdened by pollution, making them most vulnerable to the impacts of climate change. Funded in part by the Inflation Reduction Act, the largest climate investment in U.S. history, Justice 40 is an initiative that is meant to ensure that 40% of benefits from federal funding for clean energy and climate investments is distributed to underserved communities. So far, $20 billion has been allocated towards clean energy, transportation projects, and retrofit affordable housing for low-income communities. The Green and Resilient Retrofit Program has already pledged $100 million to 1,500 low-income households, making them more energy efficient. Now, we are far from out of the woods when it comes to the climate crisis. I mean, far. I cannot stress that enough. But serving communities that are disproportionately affected by it is at least a start.
Why do you have roaches?
The why file.
Why do my children hate me?
On WRTR Real Talk Radio.
Why did my vagina burn?
The truth is out there.
Explaining the unexplained, we're answering why to the questions you want to know by taking your tweets. Actually, should I stop promoting Twitter? Elon been doing the most. I'm starting to think maybe I should not promote Twitter anymore. But we're at WRTR Radio.
We use the platform, so we still gotta say.
We take your emails at WRTRradio@gmail.com. And we take your Facebook messages at facebook.com/WRTR Real Talk Radio. So we can put money in Zuckerberg's pocket so he can buy his wife's expensive Porsche. Yep. Told you I'm controversial this week. That's the Wi-Fi. Okay, whatever. The truth is out there. What you got?
Okay. Sherry from Virginia wants to know, why did that lady get on Instagram spreading the lie saying turkey legs is ham?
I saw that. And I just thought she was being funny. And because but she didn't.
No, she was being serious. And now she has hundreds and probably thousands of people believing this bullshit.
That's what I'm talking about. See, this is exactly what I'm talking about. So now you're going to have the turkey leg niggas over there talking to the flat earth niggas that are then going to go over there and talk to the MAGA niggas. And before you know it, we're going to all be... Okay.
I mean, they have people in an uproar. People talk about some, I don't eat pork. I'm outraged this whole time. Like people talking about suing and everything. Like,
Okay,
what are you
so-
talking about?
As a fan of pork, you all know my relationship with bacon. It's a different texture. So, I mean, I feel like if we were eating pig legs versus turkey legs, that somebody would have noticed prior to this lady jumping on TikTok. Nobody ever asked the question. Like, if you think this was true, nobody was ever like, got them turkey legs. Let's go take a peek, girl. Like, what?
First of all, there's a difference between dark and white turkey meat. Second of all, it's smoked. Of course it's gonna taste like fucking ham. I don't get it. I don't get the stupidity.
You look so
hysteria.
frustrated.
I am, because it's like is that many stupid people out here? I guess it is.
Girl,
gullible ass motherfucker.
They said the Democrats control the weather. What do you mean?
It's insane. It's insane. It don't make no sense. Yes, that kind of pissed me off.
Why?
Because the truth is out there.
This one was asked by Jasmine from Atlanta. She says, why do people feel the need to keep their most scandalous secrets hidden, even from their closest friends? Embarrassment. And what happened? I feel like you need to write in a letter because I want to know what scandalous things happen. Woo!
Right.
Don't let it be nothing, too heavy. Jesus. We want to hear from you.
Mm-hmm.
I will say because, again, embarrassment. I believe that a lot of people, behind scandal, it's why therapists are important, believe it or not. Because then you get a third party that's not associated with anybody that you tell all your business to, and then when you get with your friends, you're not sitting there talking about your other friends and their business. You actually or you're not sitting there talking about your business. You talk about other people's business.
Mm-hmm. And the fear of being judged is real because, let's be honest, some people that you call friends ain't really your friends, and be quick to run and tell that.
That's true.
So,
because the truth is out there. You got another one?
Yes, mine is a little bit political. This is why it comes from me.
Uh-oh.
Why the fuck is Iraq's parliament allowing girls as young as 9 years old to get fucking married?
What?
Yep. I read that shit today and I instantly got pissed.
What do you mean?
9 years old. 9 years old. So, despite protests, the parliament members are pushing for an amendment to the personal status law that could legalize child marriage for girls as young as 9 and strip away protections for women in divorce and inheritance.
Wow.
And I am outraged.
No,
Why?
I'm reading this. I just Googled it. Yeah, you said in Iraq, the personal status law. It governs family members, permits marriage at a young age, while the legal age for marriage is generally set at 18. Exceptions can be made. Wow. Exceptions can be made.
Why?
Wow. With parental consent and approval from a judge. But what judges are allowing this? Huh. That's wow. It also says that it's cultural norms in many parts of Iraq, particularly in rural and conservative areas. Early marriage is often seen as traditional practice.
First of all, ain't nothing fucking traditional about a child marrying a grown-ass fucking man.
I agree.
I don't care what nobody says. I don't care what country you from. That's disgusting.
Economic factors. In some communities, families say that marrying off their daughters at a young age is a way to secure financial stability. Wow. Social pressures. There can be societal pressures from if you don't conform.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. That's Learn something
Because
new
the
today.
world is fucked up and the truth is out there.
Wow. Okay. I have one more. So on a lighter end, is why do people prioritize their online personas over their real life relationship? And that was asked by Ava from San Diego, California.
Because it's much easier to be a character than be yourself. For some people, I guess.
Yeah. Sometimes I would say, I mean, it is, but I will say that they prioritize their online personas because everything's a show nowadays. Everybody, you know, I mean, literally what everybody's doing. They want to show you the highlights of their life, and oftentimes people's partners fall by the wayside of this behavior. So.
But that's the thing, though. They're only showing you, 60 seconds of their life? That don't mean they're happy. I don't care how much they smiling and flashing money and going on trips and doing all that in the third. You're only seeing a very small percentage of somebody's life. So keep that in mind.
Got one last one from Leah from New York. She says, why do we have such a fascination with celebrity scandals, and what does that say about our own lives? I can answer that one, but I mean, if you want.
I think because a lot of people put these celebrities on pedestals that they have no business on. And, you know, you become so fascinated because your childhood hero or this person that you looked up to done did some human shit, and you can't comprehend that. Stop putting these celebrities on pedestals. They're human. They fuck up just like any other person. They just have money and resources. You know what I'm saying? Like, their name is out there. But they're regular people too. Nobody is perfect, and celebrities fucked up too. I think that's why.
Do. I would answer by saying I can speak for myself. I love celebrity scandals, and I'm reading about their lives because none of us can live every existence, and a lot of us glorify in either our actions or our minds this, star-studded life. So it makes, when I follow scandals and when I see things that play out in the news and just watch people sometimes, I watch them interacting with their families online on their lives. It just kind of brings it all, it makes it a little bit more tangible for me. It's like, okay, you know what? These people, they're actual people. And like you said, they're human. They do things. So it's educational to follow the story sometimes. It's very enlightening to see this whole Diddy thing alone, to see the lengths that people will take for fame. Just for fame and power.
But it's also sad too, because it's like people have been saying these stories.
They really have.
You know what I'm saying? And that's one of the things that is beneficial as far as social media is concerned, is that now, since everything is so documented, these stories can, come out to light, and these people can be responsible for the things that they have done now that you couldn't years and years ago. But these things have been happening. This isn't the first time that I've heard a story about Sean Combs. This is not the first time. I've heard this over 10, 15 years ago that he was into some weird shit.
Yeah. Why?
Yeah, because the truth is out there and all over the internet.
That wraps it up for this week's My Thoughts. Always answer them why for you at WRTR Radio on Twitter. We will be back. Are we doing news to make you nauseous this week? How are we looking on time? Okay, cool. We'll be right back.
This is a tough hurricane. One of the wettest we've ever seen from the standpoint of water. Rarely have we had an experience.
See, I could make a whole bunch of jokes, but right now I know there are a lot of Americans that's really in dire needs because we have historical landfalls about to hit, and this man is talking about the hurricane being the wettest he's ever seen. If you're in these congressional districts and are starting to evacuate on I-75, remember, your congressperson refused to vote for FEMA funding. Watching videos of people who can't afford to evacuate because flight prices out of Tampa Bay just jumped sky high, this is predatory behavior and should be banned, especially during states of emergencies. It should be illegal for airlines to price gouge for cities trying to evacuate a hurricane. $1,100 for a one-way ticket out? That's unethical. Can we agree on that? Now, what's crazy is that the Biden-Harris administration passed a bill that was literally decreasing and making it restrictive for the airline industry to be able to do this price gouging. But guess who want to reverse that with transportation policies and Project 2025, huh? Donald Trump. It should also be noted that in 2017, Trump signed an executive order during his administration that undid a similar rule before it could take effect. And speaking of 2017, he already showed us what his presidential response would be when Americans is dealing with all type of hurricanes. Remember he was shooting the paper towels?
And now,
Say what?
News to make you nauseous on WRTR Real Talk Radio. Let's go.
These are some of the stories you might not read about in the New York Times, the Washington Post, or the Wall Street Journal. It's news to make you nauseous. What to do, Miss Lyric? You want to go first?
I sure do.
Go for it.
The story made me so nauseous. Oh
Here
my
we
God.
go.
Say what, Mexico?
Say what?
The decapitated head
Oh, hell.
of a mayor in Mexico was found atop his car
What?
just 6 days into his tenure, marking the second official to be murdered in Guerrero's capital in less than a week. The body of Alejandro Arcos, the 43-year-old mayor of the city of Chilpancingo, was found inside his pickup truck Sunday night while his head was propped on top of the vehicle. His death was confirmed by the state prosecutor's office. The state attorney general's office said they were investigating this situation. His loss mourns the entire society and fills them with indignation. Evelyn Salgado said in a statement shared on social media, the day of his murder, Arcos had visited Chilpancingo's neighborhoods damaged by Hurricane John, but went missing.
What?
What the hell is going on in Mexico? 6
I
days
don't-
of being a mayor and they chop your head off?
Yo.
That is wild.
And they said this is how many? This is how many? Wait, this has happened before.
This is
Wow.
the second official. The second.
So I have to read more into that because that tells me that there is more of a problem. Well, I don't know. Let me not even go there because there's already hurtful and hateful rhetoric behind Mexico right now, and I'm not trying to add. All right, say what, Texas?
Say what?
So picture this, right? Crossing Elementary School in Spring, Texas. 2 teachers have been placed on administrative leave for allegedly handing out quote-unquote sleepy stickers to kids. Stickers, but not just any stickers. These were supposedly, or allegedly, infused with sleep aid supplements.
You are fucking lying.
I am not.
Oh.
Here's the tea. It all started when a student spilled the beans to her mom about these so-called sleepy time stickers. Naturally, other parents caught wind of this and started questioning their own kids, only to find out that several had also received these stickers. Alarm bells started ringing and parents started, taking action and everything, reporting the incident to Child Protective Services and even rushing their children to the hospital for checkups. So, this, of course, is nauseating for the obvious reasons, but what's even more nauseating is, didn't this happen? I swear on this very podcast, not this rendition, I think on the TV show, we had talked about another story where daycare workers were giving the kids, what was it? I think they were like
gummies.
Were they? Okay. And this continues to happen. What's going on? What's going on out here in these daycares? Like, y'all, I can't take my kid to a daycare and drop him off.
First of all, this ain't even a daycare. This was at an elementary school.
Well,
why are you giving out NyQuil stickers to these babies for? First of all, if I was a parent, I'm going up there and I'm whooping ass.
Beating everybody.
I'm dragging that bitch through the damn parking lot. What are you talking about here?
This is
Police
dumb.
would have to physically get me off of these bitches. If my kid ever came home talking about some, oh, mommy, Miss So-and-so, they gave me this
Sleepy time stickers.
I'm dragging you. What are you talking about? I'm not rewarding nobody. I'm coming up there.
I want to know how it happened and nobody... I guess they have nap time, but still, nobody noticed that only Miss, whatever her last name was, her class is the only class that don't got a whole bunch of shenanigans. Why your baby got a hangover after nap time?
Baby, it's time to eat dinner. I'm sleepy. Cause you done drugged the baby at school. That. When I tell you, let me shut up because
you want these and more nauseating news stories. Make sure you follow us on Twitter. Oh God, at WRTR Radio. You can also follow me. I'm at MARCUSSMOOT. That's Marcus Smooth.
And my name is Lyric Bravado, which is the same on all my social media platforms, not the nasty ones, just the good ones, which is Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook.
All right, what are we talking about in Real Talk?
Okay, so for Real Talk, we are discussing healthy and unhealthy selfishness.
All right, we'll be right back.
I want to give a huge shout out to the people that go through things and don't make other people responsible for what they're going through. They just fight those battles. I also want to give a shout out to the people that understand that they can't do it on their own, and that it's okay asking for help, and encourage someone to understand that it's okay to ask for help. Many times we go through life thinking that we can just deal with it on our own, that we just got things figured out. And my grandma would tell me as a child that just when you think you have all of the answers, God changes the questions. So I don't know who needs to hear this, but listen up. You are enough. You are worthy. You are powerful. You are amazing. You are beautiful. You are handsome. And your best is yet to come. Good day.
Keeping it 100. It's Real Talk. On WRTR, Real Talk Radio. We keep it real.
Hey guys, what's going on? It's Real Talk time. And this week I wanted to discuss something that relates to mental health. I decided to talk about selfishness.
Ooh.
Now, we have been socially conditioned to believe that selfishness is wrong, but what you guys do not know is there are two types of selfishness, unhealthy and healthy.
Ooh.
Unhealthy examples, not considering how your actions affect others.
Donald Trump.
Always acting in your own self-interest.
Jonathan Majors.
Having no empathy for others.
Oh, God, that's a whole lot of them.
Mm-hmm. Not showing remorse when you hurt others. Using manipulation tactics to get what you want. Always asking for favors but never returning them.
Ooh.
Healthy selfishness. Having healthy boundaries. Using self-care. Having a healthy dose of self-respect and not letting people take advantage of you. Balancing your own needs with the needs of others. advocating for your own needs, having a healthy form of selfishness, which could be eating healthy, meditation, exercising, things that do not hurt others, giving yourself permission to enjoy yourself, even if it doesn't necessarily involve helping others, and prioritizing your own personal projects over the demands of others. And the reason why I wanted to talk about this today is because oftentimes we go through life and we cater to people and we forget about taking care of ourselves. We're always, so willing to help this person or be there for this person. And we often neglect ourselves. And this could lead to depression.
Yeah.
I wanted to say this, which you guys don't know. The depression rate for 2024 is really bad. It is really bad.
Look around.
For the youth, 20.17 within the age range of 12 and 17 have experienced at least one major depressive episode. Adults, more than 7% of adults are diagnosed with depression, especially adults and me. Adults living alone are most likely to report feelings of depression than those who are living with others. The LGBTQ individuals are 3 times more likely to experience a mental health condition.
Also
more than heterosexual adults.
I'm all over this list. The only thing you can say is youth that don't apply to me.
LGBTQ teens are 6 times more likely to experience symptoms of depression than non. Girls are twice as likely, that's me, than boys to have clinical depression. 3 in 4 young people with depression also have another mental disorder. Depression is often an overlapping diagnosis along with other medical conditions. And so many different things can factor and contribute to a person's depressive state, which is one of them as far as not taking care of yourself. When you're constantly filling somebody else's cup, what do you have for your own cup?
Ask Glorilla.
So with that being said, I just want everybody to be mindful to take care of yourself and take some time for yourself every week. Self-date. Self-motivate. Have positive talks to yourself. You know what I'm saying? In those times where you're feeling anxious and doubtful about what's to come. Because it's fucked up. The world is in a fucked up state and a lot of people are going through it. And you have to have some sort of time where you just decompress and know that, you can sort through things. If you can't, and you're going through a depressive state, there are numbers that you can call when you feel like you're going through a crisis and you have nobody to talk to, because some people don't. I mean, how many people said that, oh my God, I can't believe that girl sent in that letter saying this, that, and the third to you guys about her sexual assault. Well,
I got hit up a few times.
Yeah, some people don't have an ear to talk to in times of crisis. So if you guys are going through anything, help is available. Call 988 or text 988. That is the Suicide and Crisis Lifeline. They are available 24 hours a day. If you're not a person who wants to verbally say stuff, you can text. It's very beneficial that you do that, because times are hard and it's going to get harder, but you have to know how to deal with it. What are some of the things that you do and when you feeling
Me? So you mean like when I'm feeling depressed, what are some things that I do?
What are some of the things that you do?
Well, for those of y'all that have been following me for a long time, you already know that I'm a gamer. I'm a competitive gamer, particularly for Pokemon.
Pokemon Go!
Well, no, not Go. The actual game, like on Nintendo. But yeah, that's two different ones. But I'm a competitive gamer. And, it brings me joy. I recommend that to actually anybody that's going through a rough time. Because it's a game that it's an RPG, so it puts you in a role, and you're there, and never mind. I'm not giving Nintendo money. That's
sponsor us now.
No, yep. But no, I play games. I spend time sometimes with friends and family, and then when I'm not feeling like I'm going to be, like I want to be bothered with people, sometimes I write. I do what brings me pleasure, and I think that's the bigger point. And I think a lot of times people struggle with knowing when, I guess, differentiating between the two types of selfishness. Because I know for me, a lot of times I would overdo, I would do too much. I would literally overwork myself to try to make all of the commitments that I had. And like you said, I was just constantly pouring into others, pouring into different things and not pouring into myself. So when I crashed hard, and it hurt. And it sent me through a depression. And, I'm still trying to sort through the pieces. It's a lot better now. God knows. But it was hard to differentiate between the two types of selfish, because it's like, I want to honor these commitments that I have. I want to be there for my friends and family, but I can't be there for my friends and family if I myself am falling apart inside also.
Right. That's absolutely true.
Yeah. And it's literally trying to find out what is. So I love the examples that you gave as far as, the healthy versus the unhealthy type. So yeah. Good topic. Good job.
I listen to music when I'm feeling depressed.
If I had your voice, I would sing myself out of depression.
No,
I would, like, every single time. I'd be like, I just like start screaming out ballads and shit, just doing different shit with my voice. People with beautiful voices don't need to be depressed. They don't.
Oh, well, thank you. But I do not sing. I do not be in the singing mood. I just listen to other songs and stuff to get me through. And it might be gospel. It might be alternative. It might be whatever I'm feeling. I put it on. So find that, like you said, whatever it is that makes you happy and feels joy in that moment, and get through it.
And then also let yourself go through it. See, a lot of times, I know a lot of us take our vices and we get a little too heavy. Again, me, because it was like, you'll use certain substances, drinking whatever, just to nullify the way that you feel in order to just get through the next moment. But I promise you, if you let yourself get through it, it sucks. Don't get me wrong. It does suck.
Yeah.
But you will get over it quicker if you don't, throw a whole bunch of substances over top of it. Just don't do that.
And don't feel guilty about having to step away and take some time for yourself. A lot of people feel guilty about that. No, you have to, because like you said, how am I going to be good for somebody else if I'm not right? If I'm feeling this, how can I, provide for my kid, or how can I provide for my spouse or my partner or whoever might be there for my friend if I'm not okay? You have to make sure that you are okay before you can do anything for anybody else. So yeah, take that time for yourself and don't feel guilty about that if you have to.
Excellent work. So, wrapping up in another edition of Real Talk here on WRTR Real Talk Radio, and wrapping up the show. Thank you, Miss Lyric. You did an amazing job.
Thank you so much. Appreciate you.
Anything you got to say to the niggas before we get up out of here?
No, because y'all still gonna be niggering. Niggas gonna be niggas.
Listen, stop DMing me foot pictures. When did I get into a foot toe licking group? When did I get into this?
Oh my gosh.
Stop putting me on lists. Stop doing that. All right. I will end with a quote from Barack Obama. He says, change will not come if we wait for some other person or some other time. We are the ones we've been waiting for. We are the change that we seek. Take that with you into the voting booth, and we'll holler at y'all next week.
Bye.
WRTR Real Talk Radio.
This week's show features work from TikTok creators Chris the Author, Rich Retro, The Conscious Lee, I Speak 1906, and Granada Ortiz Alvarez, using our platform to amplify your voices.